be voting on all issues tonight. Of course, you can vote at any time on any committee meeting, but I just thought I'd point that out so you just don't sit there taking minutes, which I thank you for.
I got the minutes today.
Too bad we can't offer the $10 yet. It hasn't gone to FHR.
Got it.
Chair will accept, the chair will make the motion to, approve the consent agenda, even though it doesn't say that for today's agenda. And the, March 22nd, 2023 minutes. Do I have a second?
March.
Second by Sailor. Discussion?
Do you actually want to second that one? Did you say that? or-
Did you say yes or did you grunt?
You said March, whatever, it's October and September.
It says 22 March.
You said,
Holy mackerel. Is Boz still here? Anyway.
I second.
okay.
Let's make that September.
Yeah.
We
Got
will
it.
make that correction right now.
It is September.
It is September.
Not on his, it's March.
Discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments on agenda items. Eric, anything?
No, sir, only if, you have questions and context about the Hokai thing.
April.
It's correct. I'm looking at the wrong. One duck hunt for the first time today. In a long time. My mind is still out there. Okay, well, we're gonna
Reassuring.
jump, everything I already said, we approved the, April 18th, today's agenda and the September 27th, 2023 minutes. Eric doesn't want to say anything. Do you want to speak when your issue comes up?
If you have questions,
Okay,
I'm glad to.
all right. Committee comments.
Well, you're on chairperson comments. We got.
I have no comments. Why is that on there? Do we always put that on there?
Can I have your agenda?
Your agenda,
Can I have your?
Let's scratch that.
committee.
They didn't notify me of that, committee comments. Or we keep it way down below like we do with the board meetings. Director of Public Works, Marty?
We'll kind of start with the parks. The first thing is, last month we went over the budget. I did take that back and Diane and I went over it again. There was no changes to that part of the budget. All the heads went back with Diane and went through it. That budget stayed the same. So no issues there. The parks at this point, we're cleaning everything up, getting the leaves cleaned up and getting ready for winter. No big issues there. The shelters are shut down for the winter. The bathhouses are. This summer, obviously, from the dryness, I remember the cemetery took a beat in our grass. There were some dead areas out there, so we've been trying to work on getting those areas top of some black dirt and seeded before winter. I do have a lot of residents have called and concerned about areas in the cemetery that the grass dried up and died. So we're addressing that hopefully before winter, and hopefully in the spring we can get some grass growing again and get that kind of cleaned up in some areas that died off due to the drought this winter.
Do you have any concerns about the 23 budget as we near the end of the year?
Nope, everything is on schedule, and like I said, we went through with Diane and the numbers are there, obviously. You always have to remember that it's in the negative, but there was grants for what we're gonna talk about next, the kayak ramp. And other things that actually got charged to the parks, but then there was grant stuff that reimbursed those back. So when you look at the final numbers, they're negative, but remember, there's money that came back in, which goes in the revenue column, because it does not go directly to the parks.
I wonder how that happened. Anyway, anything else?
That's all the revenue goes to the revenue side, it never goes into the parks. So that's all I have for parks, unless you guys have any questions. We can jump into the kayak input, which we had a resident, send us an email and question it. So as soon as I got that, I took initiative. We got some things going. We can discuss on that right now. The first thing is there is a grant out there. That's basically boating recreational from the DNR. I did contact Gina from the DNR about that, just clarification if it's, if it's an 80-20, if it's 100%, if their village is responsible for any finances. And she did get back to me and she's gonna look into it more to see the exact details. And then I'll come back with you guys hopefully the next month with the report on what the grant consists of, when it's due, if there's money if there's cost for the village and what it all entails. And Diane is also working with the insurance company to make sure that there's no big increase or change in insurance if we would add this piece of equipment onto the dock section we have right now. The dock section we have out there is insured through the insurance company, but just to make sure there isn't any issues on that. The piece of paper that I gave you guys does have the, basically the kayak assist lift on it, basically. We have the one section right now, the first piece coming down the ramp. Obviously, this isn't our boat landing, but this gives you kind of an idea what it looks like. We have that first piece, so we'd be purchasing a big plastic dock, and then the piece to the, of your piece of paper is to the right or left of the kayak. Basically, you set your kayak in there, you sit in there, and that's basically, there's bars, big long bars, you push yourself off and the kayak's in there. So when you jump into your kayak, you're sitting all in this plastic containment deal, so you can't wibble side to side. It's easy to get in. There's no big change of depth or whatever, or getting in the water. It's all dry when you're getting onto the kayak launch, basically. And this launch is through the same provider that provided us with a dock section that we did last summer. I did reach out, talk to everybody on the crew, Kim and Diane. We haven't had any complaints or issues other than the one citizen. I mean, I do agree, there is definitely a step down getting into this. When this was presented to the village, it was no cost to the village, so we did what the grant had in it, which was spent the total money and getting the trail created in the dock section. So that grant has been totally used. There's no extra money. So at this point, once we get more information on the DNR grant, I could bring it back to you guys and we could pursue if we want to
Information
apply for that.
what grant again? Sorry.
It's the boat, it's basically a DNR boating and recreational grant.
And what was the grant that we used for the
This
initial?
was from
place?
Wood County.
Wood County. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
It was actually a seed grant.
Just my curiosity, in the future, you know, if you're gonna use papers for reference, make sure we have them.
You do? I had on,
No, I mean the DNR grant, there's another piece of paper there.
no, that was an email that I sent you.
Here's the email.
All right.
I have a copy of that. You said you got the email.
As this, there,
Can I just add some context? Just say, the resident, I assume you're talking about me, wasn't a complaint. It was more on a boat tour with the DNR. When we came up to the DNR, they saw that and asked, how do people get in and out of the kayak to get to use the ramp? Well, not fortunate. Let's just say my spouse, who was an avid kayaker, was taking care of the boat, driving it, and she explained the challenges to using it as it is. They said, DNR said, you guys ought to tell Port Edwards, they could get a grant to make that accessible not only for handicapped people, but for able-bodied people as well. So it was more of a opportunity I saw, not a complaint, but an opportunity to have that, see if that grant is fully, pays for it fully, and if so, that kayak launch will be used a heck of a lot more than it will be right now. So that's just the content.
thank you. Any more on that?
No, like I said, once she gets back to me next month, I'll come back to you guys with what she says on the grant information, as in when it's due and what the responsibilities of the village would be. And then by then, Diane will have a report from the insurance company to make sure there's no big changes on insurance fees,
Between now and our next meeting, would you keep me advised as
Yep.
we move forward? Appreciate it. Thank
which
you.
most of you guys are in the email that was sent to Gina from the DNR, so.
Alrighty, community calendar, rummage sale / brat find. We're gonna have another garbage sale?
So the biggest, other than the normal meetings on this month's calendar, is the trunk or treat, which last month we discussed to make sure we had 5 trunks, I guess you could say, signed up. And as of today, we have 8, so the trunk or treat will definitely be a go.
Good.
So I will repost that out there on the website and on the calendar that event will happen from, I believe it was 4:30 to 6:30, I don't remember the exact times.
And the date again?
Next week, Wednesday, the 25th.
For sure, I can't go.
So other than that, there's really nothing on the calendar. There's a couple different events for Halloween that the churches and other things have got to me that I'll post on the Facebook.
Music Fest, what's that one on?
That is not till
Oh,
spring.
that's the old one.
Let's see, you're on the old,
It's back.
Music Fest won't be until May discussion.
He's very excited.
There was something, oh. Ice skating, what are we gonna do, anything, or just pretty much status quo like it was last year?
Yep, be just like it is, once the ice gets safer, we can get out there and flood it and open up the warming shelter. It'll be open on your honor system as long as we don't have any issues.
Good. No, we didn't have no problems last year. did we?
No, we didn't, so.
Good. Okay. There's no old business I know of except me, I'm 73. New business, that'd be Ben, he's the youngest.
So next, we'll discuss the tree lighting ceremony, what we're gonna do for downtown tree lighting ceremony at the next board meeting. So, if anybody has any ideas or thoughts between now and then, get them to me so that
I'd forgotten all about that.
that'll be our big calendar event coming up.
Hey, Yellow, you open for that? Does he open up for that? Christmas tree lighting?
I guess it's gonna depend on what we wanna do. He's been the parade and he's gonna get involved in the trunk or treat, so I definitely, depending, I guess, what we do and we decide on, I guess I would definitely let him know. You know, if he wants to do hot chocolate and cookies or something, as long as that's kind of the events, we have to make sure that we're gonna have the people here to support. I don't think it's been hugely attended in the past, more board members and, so I think we have to make sure if we're gonna get him involved, that it's worth his.
I
Time and
wonder
effort.
if we have something like bringing Santa down and stuff like that, if that would attract more people to come down than just board members.
The biggest thing is that, we did the Santa 3-4 years, it's finding a time when it's with, as you guys know, with kids in sports, if it's basketball, if it's dance, I mean, every night of the week, or if it's choir or church, I mean, it's hard to find a night that you can get everybody here, and I think that's what we struggle every year, is we do it on a Tuesday, which you have high school basketball starts, and Wednesday, you're dealing with catechism, so that's, I think, always the struggle. Is to find what night we can do
Pick a
it.
different, do we pick a Friday or a Saturday? Cause then he's open for fish fry already. If we do a Friday.
Yeah, I mean, that might be something to entertain, we could. Do it on
I'd
Friday.
recommend Saturday or Sunday night or something.
Yeah.
Just-
The CCD for the Catholic kids is all gonna be in town here, and that'll be on Wednesday too. So, you guys have religious studies on Wednesday also?
Us Lutherans are already smart, we don't need to study. Us Lutherans are already smart, we don't need to study.
And I'll reach out to the school,
Half of my family's Lutheran, so.
the school band and choir and see if we
They're the ones
can't get them
that-
guided, because
Christmas caroling.
that gives a reason for those parents to come and bring their
Right.
siblings, so I think we did that about 4 or 5 years ago, and it did bring.
Christmas is on
Extra
Sunday this year, right? No.
I don't know what's
last year.
next week yet, Joe.
Christmas is during the
The
middle of the
first
week,
is on a Monday.
I think it's a Wednesday, Thursday. But,
I don't know what Halloween is.
Well, that's something, if you wanna have a tree lighting, just call me and say we're gonna have a yada, 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 and we'll have it. I mean, if we don't have it, spirits of the past will come back. You guys believe in spirits? And most of my, Lutheran relatives believe in spirits, so.
I'll work with, whoever in the community, I'll get hold of the school and come back next month
I
with
can.
ideas and thoughts, so.
Okay, anybody receive any correspondence? What is, where'd our calendar go? Oh, there it is, what's the last? Report we might not want, should be on about.
Here we go before Thanksgiving or after, right?
Hold on,
You couldn't, okay.
I could have, but this is easier.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're not gonna have the 4th. That's Wednesday, last workday before Thanksgiving. Anybody have any problems having it on the 5th, the 29th of November?
May 9th.
Gonna be a problem with you late in a month like that for anything?
No, we're gonna do it on Wednesday?
No.
I think Wednesday will be fine.
We have to move it back to 5, so
Adjourn.
hopefully Jen can make it at 5. Okay, that'll be November 29. At 5 p.m. And Eric, you'll be happy, I wrote it on the current agenda. There. I skipped meeting agendas, items for next time. You have anything?
Just put on there about, Christmas tree lighting.
Okay,
Does Trinity, did the churches still do their big tree things?
No, they do not do that anymore.
Christmas
They,
tree lane or whatever?
they kind of do it, it's it's right after the mask, it's not as big as it used to be. They're doing a big Halloween thing, but their big Christmas thing isn't quite as big as it used to be. It's,
So the Methodist Church or CLF do anything?
they're doing a bazaar over here, November 4th is the bazaar. The church is doing a bazaar over here.
St. Al's have anything at all?
They always did a bazaar, they do the bazaar too, or with, I think it's with Sacred Heart, they do something combined.
Yeah, they do.
But I don't think other Christmas tree lane is not as big as it used to be. That was always with the horses and that was a big event.
Oh.
That was the last time I went to church. Cause I didn't know if we could piggyback on something like that to have the tree lighting. But
And I know there's over here at the Trinity, I think there's a bells. I mean, we could send something out to the local churches, cause I know each church does have a choir or a bell. I mean, there's different
Mhm.
things in there. So maybe once we pick the date, we can send it out there to the churches and thing and see if they'd like to come and sing a song or play a flute or joke and
The
sing
thing
for
that
us.
we should probably keep in mind is like Rudolph Country Christmas, try not to land on the same weekend as that, cause I know that draws a lot of people.
We used to always do the second week in December. We always did it at a board meeting. That was the only reason we always, so if we keep it, we should keep it like that second weekend in December. If we do that week, if we do a Saturday or Sunday, I think we do it that second weekend. Not that it's always,
No, but
but Thanksgiving, I always kind of did it. like
8th
2
or
weeks.
9th Friday is the 8th, 9th Saturday.
So I guess we'll talk out there and see what the school and see what it comes up with and pick a date
yeah,
next meeting.
maybe the
and-
churches too, just get them.
Well, if anybody has any, ideas for agenda items, just give me a call and I'll pass them on to Marty and.
Okay.
Nothing else, I will declare this meeting adjourned at 16:18 hours, 4:18 PM. Still 13 minutes shy of your record though.